Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder. I am the Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford, and I am here today with a great special guest. Her name is Julia Brunson. Julia is our community leader. Living in Sanford, born and raised in the city for many years, her entire life, and she is a community leader for the historic Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District. And I want to say, Julia, welcome.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
And we're here today to talk specifically about an event that Julia has helped put together and arrange, and that is called the Florida Emancipation Day, to be held Saturday, May 21st from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Julia, welcome again, and I look forward to hearing about what's happening this Saturday, because it is truly an incredible event with so much going on, and most importantly, it's history and education and learning and family friendly, all rolled up into one.
Absolutely, and that's exactly the outcome that we're looking for at the end of the day on Saturday. I have been just really, really blessed with many folk who stepped up to help us put this on. So this has been an effort of Georgetown residents, even outside of Georgetown. We've all come together for this Florida Emancipation Day. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's a historical event in 1865, right after the end of the Civil War. President Lincoln, of course, signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Well, General Edward McCook came to Tallahassee and read Lincoln's words from the steps of the Knott House. And with this reading of the Emancipation Proclamation, over 160,000 slaves were free. So, in essence, that's what we're celebrating on Saturday.
Yes, and that's an incredible feat to be celebrating, of course. And so what I love about this, in addition to that, is that you're going to have a live reenactment. And that is so special. That makes this extra special. Tell us about that.
Exactly. We are going to have an reenactment of General Edward McCook reading. However, before he comes up to read, we've got a team of Buffalo soldiers and horses that are going to do a parade from Hickory Avenue over to Pine at Harper Academy. After they've got all settled in and the general has read the Emancipation Proclamation, Frederick Douglass is going to read his letter that he wrote to President Lincoln, giving him his thoughts on how the slaves felt about the Emancipation Proclamation. So that's the historical part, and also it's just going to be a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and hoping that folk will come out and be a part of it.
Now, a couple of things. For those listeners who may not know when we talk about the Georgetown neighborhood, it is an historic neighborhood, designated a historic neighborhood, just recently, too.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's recent compared to this history that we're talking about. And so your organization, the Historic Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District, is a 501c3. It's made up of a lot of community leaders, volunteers that helped put this together. And Georgetown is a neighborhood that's on the east side of Sanford Avenue.
No, it's Georgetown. The perimeters are Sanford Avenue on the west side. On the east side would be Mellonville Avenue. On the south side, Celery Avenue. And on the north side, 2nd Street.
Okay.
That's the perimeter of the Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District.
Okay, so when you're driving Sanford Avenue, either direction, you will see now, if you turn to the left, if you're going toward the lake, you will see the historic signs, and you will know what we're talking about. And this is newly installed, by the way, these historic signs on all of the street sign toppers,
In
correct?
Georgetown.
In Georgetown.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we just wanted to give you an idea of where this neighborhood is in relation to the entire city of Sanford. And so there's so much happening and so much celebration that's going on. Is this the first year that your organization has done a Emancipation Day?
This is the first year we've done anything. Remember, we received our designation in the midst of the pandemic.
Yeah.
2020.
Yes.
Nothing moved. In fact, we didn't even hear about it or know about it until the end of 2020. And then January, February, and then finally March, we kind of ventured out a bit with our mask on, and we started to get something going. And our first branding project was to get the street signs up, the street toppers, so that everybody would know, if you're in that area, you're in Georgetown.
You know where you are.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
And so now this is our second event that we're putting on this time.
Okay. Now, Julia, you mentioned, well, on the flyer, which can be found on the city's Facebook page, and also there's a lot of other places where people can find out the more information, correct?
Exactly.
And Sanford's Ride to Freedom, this is extra special in addition. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, it's a bicycle group. And on our flyers we see women, but there's some men too. This is a bicycle group, and it's called Sanford Ride to Freedom. And they're going to ride their bicycles down from Sanford over to Altamount, and then back down to Eatonville, and then back down to Sanford, and end up at Hopper Academy on 1101 Pine Avenue. So that's how they're going to celebrate. Now, anybody that wants to be a part of this bicycle ride, there's a website that you can click on it and sign up to ride, and they will be more than happy to have you.
Yes.
That's also on the website.
It says here, so it's 13.6 miles or 40.4 miles. So that's a nice ride, but I can only imagine you're riding your bike, getting some exercise, enjoying the weather, and then also learning about history and heritage at the same time. I just think this is brilliant.
Yes, yes.
I really do. And so bring your family for this event is free, fun-filled day of history and heritage. Enjoy that live reenactment of the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation by the Buffalo Soldiers of Florida, the history of Georgetown through a little brown girl's eyes, and much more. Now tell us about the sponsors. You have several sponsors here of your event.
Sponsors, yes. Well, of course, it's sponsored by the Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District, the Hopper Academy Foundation, the Florida African American Historical Society, the Bill Black, and 2 or 3 others, sponsors of this activity. Also want to say that we're going to have food as long as it lasts, but Dickie's Cafe is going to do hot dogs.
Okay.
And everything is free. You don't have to buy anything, but bring your children so that they can learn their history. Also, we're going to be doing some STEM learning activities for the children. We've got a bounce house, of course, and there are going to be vendors bringing information about different things that are happening. So you're going to have a lot of information when you leave us next Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Yes, it's it's from exactly, and the event is 12 to 3. And also, I see there's a sponsor here. The Goldsboro Museum is also a sponsor of this fine event, and so the flyer in itself is just wonderful. It's on our City of Sanford Facebook page, but there's so much information, so much history to be learned. And I myself like reenactments. I think it's a lot of fun. And then with learning, obviously, is the key point here. And then to add in the health and wellness aspect of riding the bicycle. And so if you go to the www.bicicletabikeshop.com, click on local events, rides, and clubs, and then you have that choice of going 13.6 miles or the 40.4. So get your bicycles in check and come on down and register. And this is a free event held in the city of Sanford's Georgetown neighborhood community. And you want to say some other things, of course.
Yes, one more thing. We know that Hopper Academy is a very small place for parking. So what we have in place for you on Saturday, Zion Hope, New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, St. John's Missionary Baptist Church, and historic St. James AME Church. You will be able to park your cars there, and we'll have golf clubs, cars that will shuttle you back to Hopper, and you don't have to worry about parking your car. You just leave it down there, and somebody will drop you off, and then when you get ready, we'll have golf carts to pick you up and take you back down to where you park your car.
Okay.
We want to make this easy for you so that you can come and have a good time and not worry about how you're going to park. Now, we do have a very, very, very special place for those who are seriously handicapped, those who are in a wheelchair and cannot get out of their wheelchair. We'll have a special place for them at Hopper Academy. So don't let that stop you from coming out because you think you're in a wheelchair and you can't get there.
Right. That's great information, Julia.
Thank
and
you.
So you said that, so is this going to be like on the steps of the Hopper Academy is where it's going to start out? Is that where this is actually going to be, the proclamation should be read and all? Is that correct?
Well, we have some risers.
Okay.
And
but it'll be at the location of Hopper
yes,
Academy.
Yes, it'll be at Hopper Academy, and that's 1101 Pine Avenue, Sanford, Florida. And if you don't know where that is, it's right across the street from the Wilson Igerberger Funeral Home.
Okay.
Everybody knows where that is.
All right. And so this is just a wonderful, this is a first-time event put on by many partners, led by the historic Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District. We have our community leader here, one of many, Julia Brunson, who has worked tirelessly to get this out. Julia also sent a press release out on this, so we hope our media partners will cover this event.
Absolutely.
And so just like I said, just brilliant. There's something for everyone. And if you enjoy history, and even Sanford history, come on out and be part of this and participate in this day, this historic day, the Florida Emancipation Day, Saturday, May 21st from 12 to 3. Is there any last words that you would like to say, Julia?
I just
You're pointing to me.
else.
Yes.
At this event, we have a partnership with the Sanford Museum where we're going to harvest history of Georgetown residents. Whether you live there now or if you live there and you grew up in there, we're going to ask you to give your memories to the curator or the assistant curator of the Sanford Museum. In October, we will have a history harvest activity, so we'll be bringing all of your memories and things that you want to tell us about Georgetown. We'll bring all that together. So there will be somebody at this event on Saturday. So just sign up or go in wherever if you want to be recorded, go ahead and do that.
All right, that's wonderful. And there's something to say about the elders of a community. You have so much to say and so much to share, and it's just an incredible opportunity to capture all of that. And so thank you for your time, Julia.
And thank you for asking me.
Yes, and you're welcome anytime on the podcast. If there's anything going on in Georgetown, you just, give me a call and say, let's talk about this and promote it. You're welcome. And I just wanted to read this last, Sanford's Ride to Freedom. So on the flyer it says this: take a journey through African American history while riding through a scenic and historical route of African American townships, African American communities, and African American architecture to celebrate Florida Emancipation Day. There is no cost to participate. So I just had to add those specific words that's on the flyer here. But you can find out more on the city's Facebook page. We just posted the press release information as well as the flyer. And this is Saturday, May 21st from 12 to 3 p.m. right here in the historic Georgetown Neighborhood Preservation District in Sanford, Florida. So kudos to you, Julia. and your team of volunteers.
Thank you.
And that's the diversity makes our city so wonderful. This is what's so special about Sanford.
Remember, we were here, though, before Sanford was incorporated. 7 years Georgetown was here.
Yes, and that is part of our history. And so when you are here today, fast forward to 2022, and we're still telling the story. You must.
Yes.
Must always tell the story.
Yes.
Okay. Well, any last words? We could go on forever, couldn't we, Julia? Yes, we could.
Yes.
You're a pleasure, and thank you so much. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Officer. That is a new title for me, so if you've been listening, yes, I have a new title because we also am responsible for public art in the city of Sanford. But thank you again. This is the City of Sanford's podcast, and you can find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcasts, and especially on the city website at sanfordfl.gov. Until next time, take care, and we will be back in touch. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.